despite being this legal titan, he was incredibly humble, gracious with everybody, an understated human being, circumspect.
Regardless whether you were a practicing lawyer or whether you were a judge, everybody wanted somehow to rise to the level of conduct that Judge Irving seemed to manifest.
He was patient, and by that I mean he could have heard an argument 100 times before, but he would be patient to listen to it again by a new lawyer or by somebody that hadn't given the argument before and knew that he'd already ruled on that. He was a perfect gentleman with defendants, litigants, lawyers, jurors.
The first case I appeared in front of him on was a bankruptcy-related case in San Diego, but there was something about the order that we had drafted that he wanted changed. And Judge Irving said to me that he wanted me to bring it to his home that evening and he would sign it. So I went to their home in Point Loma to have Judge Irving sign this order. Still, very intimidated by this incredible federal judge. He and his wife were there and they couldn't have been more gracious inviting me into their home.
Judge Irving had this luck of the draw in that he drew a number of cases who had people who were famous or infamous in the 1980s. So he was the judge who presided over the trial and then ultimately as well a guilty plea for Richard Silberman. He had a case that involved DeLorean. He had a case that involved Wayne Newton.
He resigned from the bench after only 9 or 10 years because he couldn't abide the sentencing guidelines, which forced him to impose mandatory sentences and not exercise his own judgment, his own sense of compassion and his own sense of empathy.
His respect within the bench across the country just went sky high. And within a matter of months, really, he was being called upon by federal judges all over the United States.
He had a book done about him. My husband and I were actually interviewed for the book, and I did read it, and I loved reading, the interviews from the other, all the other people from different walks of life.
It's a biography which I had the good fortune of reading, and very interesting. It brought back a lot of memories for me personally. But it showed the side of him that probably was unknown to most members of the local legal community. His family, particularly the relationship he had with his wife.
He was absolutely devoted to his wife. Anybody who knew him knew that she came first in his life. There was no way I could pay him back for everything he'd done for me. But what it inspired me to do was to look for people that I thought were worthy coming up through the ranks and to do for those folks what Judge Irving did for me.
He showed the community what it meant to treat people with respect and be respected and to stand up for your principles.
I am so grateful to the county bar that they chose to honor Judge Irving. He was not a person that angled for awards, and I think this is a very fitting way to honor somebody who was enormously talented, devoted to our legal community, and I think it should mean the world to his family and his friends.